These are the salt plains of northern Colombia, in the Guajira Peninsula on the Caribbean Sea. For centuries, this region has produced Colombia's salt. Once it was called white gold. Luis Miguel Arpuchanay has been mining for salt for the last 6 years, since he was 10 years old.
Eso es la riqueza del Guajiro.
Salt is what makes us rich. Salt, that's what feeds you. Without salt, everyone would be hungry.
For centuries, the Wayuu Indians have lived off salt, especially here in the town of Manaure. The first Spanish to arrive here recorded how the Wayuu Indians traded salt for gold with other tribes. It's a family tradition, with small plots of salt passed down through the generations. Boys as young as 10 mine for salt here.
La sal viene de hace mucho tiempo.
Salt comes from way back, our ancestors. If one has 7 plots and they die, the plots are passed on as an inheritance.
Bueno, se murió un abuelo, entonces eso queda como una herencia.
It's a brutal life. The perfect conditions for making salt mean a tough place to work. The wind is constant and strong. The miners start before sunrise so they can avoid the burning midday sun. But even at 11 o'clock in the morning, temperatures reach 38 degrees Celsius. Those who forget to bring water risk fainting.
Sí, es duro, siempre, pero como uno ha trabajado desde pelado,
it's hard, but as you start as a child, you get used to it. You get used to the weight. You can carry whatever you need. You have to bring food and water. If you work without food, you can fall over like a sack.
But salt's glorious days here are gone. Where once people could live comfortably off the mountains of salt this region produced, now people struggle. A fight between the independent salt miners and the largest salt producer has all but brought production to a halt. The salt company Sama claims this land as its own, and that those who dig for salt are stealing their resource. Luis Eduardo Boras is an engineer at Sama.
What we're seeing is that land has been invaded by different groups and different indigenous groups without scruples. They take away our product, affecting our production in the salt business, which is the lifeblood of Manaure.
The indigenous miners say they've been digging for salt for centuries. The miners say the company should help them as they did in the past and pump seawater into the flats. When the water evaporates, salt is left behind. Julio Mejia has been mining for salt since he was 10.
The
lands are ours. The company is new here, and they want to take away our lands. We've been here longer than them. They want to earn all the money. They want to throw us off our lands.
Everyone agrees that Sama has been mismanaged into near bankruptcy. The idea for the company was that the indigenous would have a larger role in the salt industry here, which at one point produced nearly 3/4 of all salt consumed in Colombia. The government handed control of the company over to local indigenous leaders, selected for their hierarchy among the Indians rather than their expertise. Rafael Rosado is Director of Human Resources for Sama.
Yes, there was bad handling of this by everyone, starting with the government. They gave it to people without the necessary education, least of all any business sense. They handed it over without a board who could guide them, and they just handed it over, saying, "This is yours." So obviously, they think that it's theirs.
The company has the capacity to produce more than 1 million tons of salt a year. Last year, it produced just 129,000 tons. The equipment dates from 4 decades ago and only survives because of frequent maintenance.
The company's also been plagued by strikes. One shutdown ceased production for more than 2 months, leaving tons of salt just lying in the sun.
Now the plant is more like a ghost town. As the business slid further and further into the red, it ran out of money to pump seawater into the plains to allow the independent miners to make their living.
Our own leaders, they steal from us. The people took the money, they spent it on liquor, cars, and women. It's like everything, corruption.
This has hit the miners and the town of Manaure, which according to some estimates depends for up to 90% of its local income on salt. Previously, miners could earn $25 a day. Now they earn just half that. The trucks that buy the salt used to come around every day. Now it's once a week. In this part of Colombia, there aren't too many options to make a living. You dig for salt or you fish. But overfishing in the surrounding seas has meant many fishermen don't catch what they used to.
Cuando no hay pez y no hay sal,
without fish or salt to extract, there isn't much else to do. The only thing you can do is wait. Out here, there aren't that many opportunities. No other jobs.
After we filmed here, the government's business superintendent announced it had found a new company to run the plant. The deal will keep the business running for at least 18 years.
As the company recovers and operations return to normal, it will pump water to the mines for the indigenous workers to extract the salt. It's a solution for everyone, for the town of Manaure, for the workers in the company, and for the independent miners.
But for some, it's already too late.
We're losing our tradition. There's not so many Wayuu like before. Lots have gone to Bogota and got lost there, or Venezuela.
All the miners can do is toil away and hope that one day it becomes white gold again.